My name is Dennis Phillips. I work for Island County Human Services here in Island County, Washington. My wife and I have been married for 5 years, and between us we have 7 kids. I work in the opioid outreach program. I go out and make contact with people who may have issues with opioid addiction and help them break down the barriers to getting treatment. 5 years, 5 months, and 7 days. Alcohol always affected me differently. As far, I guess you could say I started drinking heavy at age 15. It carried on all through high school. I was the guy at the party that always passed out. It just always affected me different. Even morning drinking, I would have morning cravings early in the mornings and all, even at a young age. My addiction lasted until I was 45 years old. I had the opportunity to go into inpatient treatment at the Walla Walla VA hospital, and it was a blessing that I never knew existed. I was newly married and happiest that I'd ever been in my life, and I was on the verge of losing everything again. And seeing my new wife cry and telling me that she couldn't live with a drunk kind of opened my eyes as to where I was. Even with drinking the non-traditional things like mouthwash, food flavorings and stuff like that, didn't really seem to clue me in that I was on a downhill slide. But the thought of losing everything and losing the happiness that I had was enough to open my eyes. Never dreamed in my life that I would not be a drinker or an alcoholic. In recovery, I would have to say that the biggest challenge was looking at myself and picking out those flaws and actually seeing what other people saw, and learning how to try to make myself a better person and not knowing at all how to do that. I still have some self-esteem issues, and just feeling like I belong where I'm at. It's after living so low for so many years, your confidence is shot, your self-esteem is just totally out the window, and trying to learn that I am a good person and that I can do good things is almost beyond me. I still struggle with it. God, since in the past 5 years, I've had jobs for the government where I was a supervisor. I've excelled in most everything that I've tried. Graduated from college, got my degree, which I never dreamed in a million years I would do. I work in a program that is just stellar, and with a group of people that are just amazing. Just being happy, being able to smile. I didn't smile for a very long time, and one of the things my mother said is, "So nice to see you smile again." Just being happy, reconnecting with my daughters. That was a stellar moment. I know there was a time lapse, but it seemed like I stepped out of treatment and I got that phone call. My daughters lived in Florida, and they were like, "Hey, Dad, we want to come spend Christmas with you," and that was just like that blew me out of the water. And to be able to reconnect with family and rekindle all of that is the biggest blessing, I would have to say. Oh yes, yes. But of course, starting out early on, every day is a bit of a struggle because you have to learn how to live life again without forming your daily activities around getting your particular fix or drink or whatever, and just learning how to enjoy life as a normal person would. honestly, when people found out that I was in recovery, I mean, I never there was never any negative aspects to being in recovery at all. Of course, I've shared my recovery freely. I kind of wear it as a badge of honor, uh, and and of course I've excelled at jobs. So I don't think being in recovery hasn't really held me back at all. If anything, it's helped me. It's driven me to prove myself a little more than say anybody else coming off the street. Yes, definitely. Even when I was in the latter part of my inpatient treatment, people would come and talk to me, about different issues and whatnot. And I mean, it called to me, and to be able to get this type of work is kind of a dream come true. They've expressed with my background that doing this type of work, the outreach part especially, being able to connect with people kind of on the same level, you know, experiencing some of the same things that these people are going through, and being able to show that there is hope and there is help, and that change is possible, and just my whole attitude towards helping folks.
Okay. I mean, you're a walking billboard in a way for what it
Exactly.
is that you're selling.
Exactly. And I don't know, maybe it's easier to, well, just like an AA meeting, it's easier for a drunk to talk to another drunk. It's easier for an addicted person to talk to another a person that's dealt with addiction. Helping other people. The world these days with all the electronic media and all of that stuff really keeps me connected with all the old friends from back home. And my high school graduating class actually has their own Facebook page. And so I post all my little achievements on there, and everyone's just extremely proud of me, and glad to see that I'm trying to help other people. I'm very proud of my recovery. I love to let people know where I came from, and the struggles that I've been through. And I think that I, I think that people could understand it a little more if more people were open about their recovery. Because I'm sure everybody knows somebody that's in recovery, but just doesn't have a clue. Um, there's a big rift. Some people get it. I would say the majority of people don't, and try to cast it in a bad light, I guess you could say. Uh, but the people who do understand it know that people dealing with addiction issues are people, nonetheless. They may do things that may make them seem less human, I guess you could say. But these are people dealing with a horrible, horrible disease. Yeah, I would definitely say hire anybody that's in recovery. I believe you'll get a much better employee because, in my case, I was out to prove that I wasn't that person that I used to be. So I was driven to do a better job, not necessarily work myself to death, but be responsible, dependable, and a valued employee. I missed out on a lot with my girls growing up, and then when me and their mother separated, of course they moved to Florida. I stayed in Texas, which means the distance was much greater, and I really missed out on a lot. But uh, I hope they knew that I've always loved them. But the reconnection since I've gotten sober has just been tremendous, and you know the when I graduated from college, both of them wrote me a letter just saying how proud they were of the things that I've become and the milestones that I've made, and of course that just drives me harder to keep the thing alive. You know, they're very proud of me. I would like for people to know that addiction isn't a choice. It ruins lives, but change is possible, and life is amazing in recovery. And probably much more amazing in recovery than it would be if I was out of recovery. Every day is a gift.